Hello everybody, welcome to my review where we'll be talking about the guns, or multiplayer in general, we'll be talking about zombies, the campaign, and in the end just how I feel about Black Ops 6. So here we go. Right now I'm just going to be doing a very somewhat fast showcase of all the weapons we get in the game, all of our equipment, our perks, wild cards, what are they called? Specialist abilities, I believe. If you have three of the same categories of perks. But yeah, I'm still trying to unlock most of the guns. I mean, I've mainly been using my snipers the most, the Frostbite and the what was it, 772, whatever that last sniper is. Yeah, 762. Been mainly using them. Try to get as a small scope as possible, but not trying to full on have like a red dot sight on there. Otherwise, I've been also just primarily using assault rifles because there are some matches that are just going to be extremely hectic. And yeah, I've actually been having the most fun with the AIMS or AMES. I don't know how it's spelled. I've been using that most of the time for these rifles. It's just really powerful and it is really fun to use. But I'm still trying to lock stuff. I'm trying to get the stim shots because in Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, and Modern Warfare 2019, I've been using stim shots a lot, even in Cold War. I've been using stim shots because they're just really handy for surviving longer, and it would just probably help me a lot for someone that likes to run and gun. I don't really necessarily need it for when I'm sniping. Not really, but if I'm running my assault rifle class or even SMG, it would be good for me to have stim shots. I usually, what was that? I believe my lethal, I usually use Chinese, Semtexes. When it comes to getting kills, I believe Semtexes are a bit more reliant on them since they'll stick to any surface immediately, even on players. While as like frag grenades, they they still have a role and you still have to hold them down, which could get you killed a lot, especially if you're not careful. But here we go. On we are to multiplayer. But so I'm gonna be comparing the multiplayer side of things to the beta, since I did play the beta. One thing I am definitely going to be able to say is the weapons feel a lot better since the beta, especially the SMGs. They feel like they can actually kill people, and I personally like it a lot. I like having to actually kill people in this game, but it does feel like they've definitely did some weapon balancing, so now the weapons do feel good to use. It's not like some weapons don't. I think it's like, well, it's still a Call of Duty thing. It's not really gonna be heavy recoil at all on most of these weapons, but it does feel good to basically try to laser people down with the attachments that you get early on. And man, trying to get these weapons leveled up is not fun. They have so many levels, so many attachments that I have some friends that are basically using zombies to level up guns or to get their camo set up. Now I don't really care about getting camos in this game at all. I really don't. It's not like Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3 where I grinded days on end to get gold camos for very specific guns. But for this game, I'm not really caring too much for camos. I'm just playing it to play. And onto that, now we go to the maps, and just like the beta, the maps still fucking suck. I really don't like them still. I did play Scud a few times for the first time since I believe they took that out of the beta before I got a chance to play it. But I did play Scud. Not a fan of that map. Um, this gameplay right now, this was actually my first time playing Vorkuta. I don't mind the map. I actually do like it. It's so far the only map I actually enjoy. But it's like, I just like the whole, pretty much, all the action is always going to be on the sides, because that's where it's more open. It's never really be taking place inside the middle, where there's just buildings and whatnot. I did have fun with this map. Gala, I still hate that map with a burning fucking passion. It needs to die, honestly. I do not like it. Uh, I did do some face-off maps. I hate face-off. I hate having to deal with the whole, we'll just pit a lot of players together in a very small map while also having some very bad spawns. I really don't like that at all. The only, well, I can't even say that, because even like Warhead on Face Off, it's just a whole lot of what team can basically spawn trap the other team first and for the longest. And that's pretty much been my experience with Face Off specifically. It's just the whole match is just what team is going to be able to spawn trap first, and it does get really annoying in the end, because like, you're not really playing the game anymore. You're just feeding the enemy kills because you just can't fucking spawn properly. Whereas like, I prefer like this, where it's just the regular multiplayer where you're on like the bigger maps. I prefer that because I'll at least be able to spawn and actually be able to do shit. Whereas Face Off, you just kind of can't do anything. Now, I don't know if it's like that for every lobby, but for every lobby I've specifically had, it's just been who can spawn trap the most. And that's just been my personal experience with Face Off. And that's why I really hate it so much. That I will not actively play it. The only time I'd ever even play it is if my friend just wants us to play it, and that's basically it. But yeah, overall, comparing it to the beta, the multiplayer is fine. It does feel and play a lot better since the beta. So that's the one thing I will give them credit for, is that the multiplayer does feel good. Now, I'm not saying it's perfect, because every multiplayer game is not going to be perfect. And I guess the other thing I can actually give them credit for is, just like the beta, and comparing it to Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 also, this game runs really smooth. Like, it runs surprisingly really good for the fact that it's supposed to have stronger, like, basically more graphic demanding graphics in general compared to Modern Warfare. But it runs so well. So that's the one thing I do give, what was it, Treyarch and Raven, or is it just Treyarch alone? Anyways, I do give them credit that the game runs really smooth. Like, I've had no frame drop issues. I'm completely able to just I'll tab out of the game onto my other monitor and then hop back in, and I still don't lose frames at all. That's one thing I do find as a plus is I have next to no actual performance issues with it. And yeah, I do enjoy that part where I'm actually able to play and not have to worry about is the game gonna fuck up on me. Nope, it rarely ever does. So they did a really good job with basically smoothing out this game. Like even the beta itself, I had next to no issues with it running. It ran really smooth for a beta. Same can't be said for the beta for Delta Force, where there were some frame issues happening and some smoothing of the game that had to be done. But otherwise, I am, for now at least, enjoying the multiplayer itself. Again, it's not like a bad multiplayer. It's not the best, but comparing it to, I want to say Cold War, since this is supposed to be a direct sequel from Cold War, or not Cold War, Black Ops 2, I believe, because I think they said Cold War wasn't even canon apparently, or some shit like that. But comparing this to Cold War, which I played a lot of, I got a lot of gold weapons on Cold War. When it comes to multiplayer, how the weapons feel, is anything too broken, is anything not? I do prefer Black Ops 6 actually more than Cold War, despite the fact that I had hundreds of hours. I think upwards to 400 or 500 hours on Cold War alone. I highly prefer Black Ops 6's multiplayer more than Cold War, which is again wild coming from the fact that I've played Cold War more than Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3. Hell, even on, I think it's getting on par with fucking my Counter-Strike times. But I digress. I do. This is definitely way better and more polished than Cold War. That is for sure. Cold War has the better maps, but everything else in Black Ops 6 does in fact feel leagues better than Cold War. Feels even to me, it still feels leagues better than Modern Warfare 3, with how fucked that game could be, or just how broken that is. The one thing I'm kind of waiting for right now is the what was that? Warzone. Yeah, once the new Warzone season comes out, I believe specifically for ranked, I'm pretty sure. That's one thing I'm gonna be intrigued about is how that's gonna run. I'm hoping it's gonna do good, but we'll find out. I think it was supposed to be in November. I believe it's when a new Warzone season comes out for Black Ops. I believe if my friend's telling the truth, it's supposed to be November. I think was supposed to be the new season for Warzone. And I believe it's December or some shit was supposed to be the first week for double XP weekend. Again, I can't confirm or deny anything. For now, I'm going based off what my friends say until I hear otherwise. But yeah, now the kill streaks, I don't have them all unlocked. I only use like a few kill streaks because I know damn well that I'm not gonna be able to get a lot of my score streaks in the first place. The only ones I've been able to even use was the scout pulse, or the UAV that is for your personal self, because once you die it's basically gone. And then I think, what was it, the Valkyrie, I believe that's what it is, the Valkyrie missile launcher, It's definitely fun. It's definitely wonky, and I didn't realize when I first was using it that after you fire it, you can still click the fire button again, and it'll blow up on like blow up the second you click the fire button. I didn't know that, so I just basically wasted a shot because I didn't know that that was a thing. And yeah, I learned the hard way that yep, that's going to have a you can stop it at any time. But again, the score streaks are fine. I know damn well that I'm not going to be able to get them all constantly. And just like, and one thing from like my complaints about the beta is I still do not like the Omni movement. I still never use it. I just do not like how it feels. I, yeah, I can't really think of one positive for Omni movements. I just hate it a lot. And like there are some things that are not like well, I guess one positive thing, the only thing that's nice about it is that it's good for a quick peek. Otherwise, I hate the living shit out of Omni movement, and I will always hate it. I'm not gonna try to force myself to like it. I just prefer uh more like the older Call of Duties, their movement style. I just prefer that more than what Call of Duty's been trying to do for the past few years by upgrading, like basically trying to change their movement up, trying to make it different. And again, personally, me, I don't enjoy it. I, I'd rather stick with like the whole original Modern Warfare or original Black Ops games movement system where it was just grounded, down to earth. It's not some we're gonna do like some slide canceling bullshit. We're not going to basically jump off a roof and be able to do a 360 by just our torso. Like it's like it's that. But otherwise, I'm pretty much just playing the multiplayer like a regular Call of Duty multiplayer. I'm not really abusing the Omni movement. I'm barely using it as it is. I'm kind of just doing my own thing, just a whole running gun. And it's kind of working. I kind of been using a sniper for with a fucking iron sight. Do not recommend. Uh, I simply struggled trying to use it with the iron sight. I learned very well that the iron sights on a sniper look like absolute fucking shit. So I think I'll just stick with the 3x scope. Thank you very much. And now, like I said earlier, the one game mode that I will only ever play only if my friend plays it is in fact Face Off. God, oh God, I hate Face Off. I think he specifically chooses like the Face Off that's also it's like a hardcore, but at the same time it isn't. You still have pretty much your HUD and everything, but it acts like hardcore because every gun can one shot. Which I don't know what specifically he did because it doesn't it slightly feels like hardcore, but it doesn't. You know, it's you still have the HUD and everything, but everybody's health is basically half, just like it would be in hardcore. Like I'm fine with that. Like I play a lot of hardcore, but when we're going to let's go ahead and spawn everybody on these very small maps and have the spawns worse than Modern Warfare 3's shipments and Modern Warfare 2's shipment and Modern Warfare 2019's shipment and Vanguard's shipment, World War II's. I think you get the idea. Pretty much have spawns worse than all the recent fucking shipment maps. and they were horrible. But I actively will not be playing Face Off. I think I'll just stick with that. At best, I'll probably do regular, just regular multiplayer. You know, we'll just do domination. We'll do fucking, what was it? We'll do fucking, team deathmatch. The, one game mode I'm kind of iffy on in general is that of HVT. Uh, I don't like it, but I don't hate it. It's definitely a different game mode. I don't know if there's been another version like that in the past, or this is like the first time HVT game mode was a thing. I feel like it was a different game mode back then, but I just can't remember it. But yeah, I am hoping that I do hope that they do continue to improve on the multiplayer, and certainly hope they also improve on Face Off, because this is the segue into Face Off. Face of Domination. And this is the map I sincerely hate. It's just not fun. I love just spawning into a closet with with two of the enemies on each side, and then just getting absolutely domed like this. Now my proudest moment. And this gameplay, I'm also using the AEK. I had just unlocked it. It's alright. Kind of wish it did more damage, but I'm pretty sure I'm not supposed to be like running and gunning with this gun because it's a 3-round burst. That's my guess. But hey, I run around with a sniper, so I think I should be able to handle this. So I thought, at least. But I was kind of expecting it to be a bit more powerful. It's alright, but it's certainly not. It's kind of half-half. Even on body shots, you'll either get a 2-burst kill or you'll get a 3-burst kill. It's not really in between. So I think I've just been using zombies to level it up, just so it can help give me attachments. Maybe if the gun actually had like a very, very slightly faster fire rate, it would probably be more usable. But I don't think they're gonna do much anymore with weapon balancing until we start introducing not new games, new guns into the game. Then they'll probably start doing weapon balancing. One thing I'm actually really curious about is what they're going to do with extra stuff for games like what Modern Warfare 3 did. And to help show you guys what the chaos is for this game mode, here's this chaos, by the way.
Eyes up! Sniper assault, push up! Losing B!
Oh, cool. That's a lovely spot and corner turn. Yeah. Just love turning the corner and basically getting flashed like oh living fucking hell. But that's not even the worst that this game mode can be. That's actually just 10% of it. That's the funny thing, especially once you add on hardcore onto the mix. Dear fucking god, it becomes like a cesspool of bullshit. And it is not fun. I mean, you can already tell just from the score on this one clip. We ain't doing too hot on my team. We ain't doing too hot. But yeah, this is this is like the main reason I just do not like Face Off specifically. There's just no real movement to it. It's just gonna be you spawn, turn a corner, and you're instantly dead. But otherwise, I prefer like the regular multiplayer. I would just stick with the bigger map stuff because that's the most fun. And now here we go. Now we talk about zombies. I'm not gonna go into too much detail about zombies specifically. I like the original zombies. I've played Black Ops 3 zombies. Didn't really play much of Black Ops 4 because I hated the fucking shit out of Black Ops 4, so I never played Black Ops 4 zombies. I do know the storyline. I watched a lot about the storyline, and I liked it a lot. I liked zombies, but after they started really doing a whole lot of more experimenting with zombies, I've kind of just been kind of done with it. I didn't enjoy too much of Cold War. The one thing I absolutely did hate though was the whole what was it? The whole we're basically gonna have an open world zombies now. It's not gonna be like wave based. I mean round based. It's going to be open world. That is something that I personally did not enjoy in the slightest. And I think ever since they started really changing around zombies, I've kind of just got burnt out. I got on board of zombies because it just hasn't really felt the same. So I'm not gonna be able to really talk about much about zombies on this game, just because I just don't play zombies like I used to. I barely even touch it. I barely even touched Cold War zombies for stuff. I think I've only played each of the maps like twice, and that was just for my friend to basically carry me through the Easter egg, and that was basically it. Otherwise, I've barely played it. I just spent most of that time playing multiplayer instead. But what I do like the return of the round based. I glad it's not an open world piece of shit like they have been doing that since I think it was Cold War that did it. I don't remember if it was Cold War, if it was one of the Modern Warfare games. One of them came first. But it kind of follows it kind of continues the story of the Dark Ether, I believe, after Cold War, if I remember correctly. I only did the Easter egg once. That was 2 days ago, I believe. We completed the Easter egg for this map. Now I've only ever played Liberty Falls. I've never actually tried Terminus because I saw that when I was selecting the maps, there was another one map called Terminus. I've never tried it. I don't actually know if I can or if that's locked for a later date. I'm not entirely too sure. But I'll just deal with that on another day. But yeah, that's I just somewhat been enjoying zombies. Still not a fan of zombies. Still don't personally like the whole we have to level up our rarities for the weapons for them to do better in later rounds. Still don't necessarily like that so much. But it is what it is. I do like the system for packet punching your weapons more than once though, up to 3 levels I believe. Because I've been doing that a lot, especially because it's actually pretty easy to get the money in this game. They definitely made sure that it was easy to get money, so I've always been able to pack punch first, then like 2 or 3 rounds later, get the 3-tier armor. And that's kind of just what I've been doing. Just pack punch weapon first, get better, get more armor, and kind of just like rinse and repeat. My survivability has been pretty good, pretty high actually. I've gone down like a couple times, but I've never been like actually dead. But you know, it's all right. I kind of do hope that they, you know, at least make the storyline decent enough for me to want to follow, because I'm not really going to go out of my way to kind of just like understand the story of zombies, especially for someone like me who grew up with the original zombies. So like, you know, World at War, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, going over to 3 and then 4, I believe. Following the original crew, like that's the zombies I grew up with. That's when I had the most fun with zombies. And yeah, I think it was after Black Ops 4 where I stopped playing zombies, or at least slow down heavily on zombies. And I was fine with it because after the original storyline, there was not really much of a fun zombies experience after that. At least for me, I should say. I know there are some people that still do have fun with it, but I kind of just can't anymore. But I mean, there's not much I can necessarily do though. It's it's nothing I can really do about it. I just kind of get pretty bored from zombies. And this clip alone, I've actually had to cut it in half, and I think that the clip is still too fucking long for zombies when I don't play zombies. It was like an hour, and I cut it down to 30 minutes, and I don't think I'm gonna be able to survive 30 minutes of a zombie clip at all. And that's not the fun part for me, because I'm more because during this time I'm currently already 32 minutes into the voiceover on this fucking video. I just I I just get bored of zombies too easily. That's why I just can't really find anything to say about it. But hey, I guess one thing I actually found out though, compared to Cold War, was you cannot use the salvage anymore to basically get your armor, so like that. That one, they actually changed it to you actually have to use your actual the actual money to actually get your 2 or your 3 stack of armor. I didn't know that actually until I was told that 2 days ago when I first played zombies. So there was like a small change at least to how that system is. You have to use money to get armor now, but you still use the salvage to level up your rarity of the weapons, which I guess still kind of find pointless. Like, what's really the reason for that in the first place? But yeah, and I mean, it's glad I'm still using my AEK. Just been using zombies to level it up because because I'm not doing too hot with it in multiplayer. At best, I'll probably have to just switch to hardcore to use the AEK. But yeah, storyline so far in this map was decent. I wasn't honestly I wasn't even following it. I was just following what I had to do, where I had to go, and that was it. I don't even know what was even happening in the story. I was absolutely confused the entire time because I just was not paying attention. Just for the final cutscene to basically be, oh, now we're a fucking like ghost or a specter. Cool, now we're stuck in the dark ether. Nice, what the fuck's gonna happen now? Yeah, I paid next to no attention. I was just killing zombies the entire time. Just killing zombies in my own little corner. I think the best thing was during the first game of zombies, my internet had just died on me 3 different times. Mid Easter egg, I'm like, great. Fuck you too, I guess, internet. I guess I'll keep rejoining the game and starting out with fucking nothing now. And that's kind of just what happened. It just kept crashing on me. I had rejoined the game with nothing, no perks, no weapons, just $25,000, and that was basically it. It wasn't enough to get all the perks in the game, because then I also had to get 2 perks and then use the rest of the money to get better weapons from the fucking box, because there was nothing I could even do. So we ended up having to extract that 41, I believe, 41 or 46, one of the two. Despite the fact surviving that long, my record is only showing 31. So am kind of confused about that. It's not showing the record of what I actually survived to. So I don't know if that is just related to the fact that my internet crashed mid game. If that's what basically canceled it, or it just like what it did. But I did survive up to 41 or 46 with an exfil. That was quite the fun exfil too. Let me just fucking go into my goblin corner because I can't do shit now. Yeah, I guess the one thing I can say is I do like, I do like how big the map is. It is a pretty open map compared to kind of just what I'm used to. A lot of a lot of the doors, or at least like the electric fences and whatnot, they are like most of them are spread out, so you don't have to worry about doors too much. So for me that is a good thing actually. I guess the one system I can say I do enjoy about zombies though is the whole, if you don't have the money but you have enough money to pay for half a door, you can pay for half. I do like that because it definitely helps the team save money for everybody just having to pay half of a door, and it kind of just going back and forth off of that. I do like that better since it makes it easier for everybody to save money. Although one thing I will say about zombies though is that it is extremely glitchy. Like it's just kind of fucked, honestly. Like this part of the clip right now, we're in the middle of a challenge, and basically the laser girl was supposed to keep running for the entirety of the challenge, but after that, like before like halfway into the challenge, it stopped. But we weren't necessarily able to get it again. It wasn't letting anybody buy it for the entire fucking game. Just everything was just breaking. We even had more challenges that we've completed, but it broke the game completely. So we can not only can we not do those challenges anymore, but it was still basically taking everybody's money. Like everything like this game, everything was just breaking. Kind of was making it not like unplayable, but it kind of made it to where we're kind of limited on what we can do now because nothing was just working the way it should have. And that's just zombies for you. And now, the last part, the campaign. Compare now. I will be doing the same thing as the multiplayer part, as comparing I guess I'll be using Cold War as a reference because this has the same character, same basic storyline as Cold War. Now, the one thing I am definitely going to say is I am surprised at how much I do like the campaign. It's not your run of the mill Call of Duty guns blazing type story. This one is actually like spy oriented. Basically, you're trying to find out what the CIA is hiding behind your back, despite you being part of the CIA. And the whole storyline is just uncovering the truth as to what is going on. And it is a mixture of going to war zones, or you're playing undercover, going to like for my part, casinos, stuff like that. Like I'm not that far into the campaign. I think this is only like the 7th mission in on the campaign, so I'm not that far in. And from what I've read, it is a pretty long campaign too. So fuck. Now the one system that is kind of weird in the game is the whole having to basically kind of scavenge around the whole map to collect money, so then you can use that money at the safe house to basically build your character up like it's an RPG. So like more health, more ammo, basically turn your guns into lasers, basically make you into a walking tank. It's definitely weird. I will say that much. And I don't necessarily like it because Call of Duty is a arcade FPS game. It's never really been like RPG like that, but now they're kind of making this campaign like your main character is that of like a RPG, like a role-playing game character. That's just how you're building him up. The one thing I do wish that they did, that they did have, because I feel like it would actually make it a lot more fun, is it went back to like what Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3, where you can create, even Infinite Warfare, where you can actually create your own class for the missions. So you can bring whatever weapon you want, whatever equipment you want, stuff like that. I wish they did add that back into this game because that is one of my favorites systems that Call of Duty had in the past, and it kind of just really made it feel like you are the soldier, you're choosing what you're good at. And yeah, that's just a system that I do like for FPS games. You can just where you can choose your class, kind of like an actual like FPS role playing game. So stuff like Cyberpunk, where you can basically choose what weapon do you specifically want. But yeah, they can't. Again, I'm not far in the campaign at all. I don't even know how far I really am in the campaign. I am definitely having fun with it though. I am enjoying the storyline. It has actually kept my interest so far. And then you get to a nightmare of a level. It was a mission before, 2 missions before this, where you're basically supposed to be going to a facility that was closed down for biohazard reasons, and it's just a fucking thriller to go through. I'm not gonna really spoil much about it for people who haven't played the campaign yet, but one thing that really made me happy was that they brought back the original the Black Ops 1 Zombies theme from Kino der Toten. That made me absolutely happy to play. To play that part, just going through that whole area and then just hearing that song play. Oh, it brought me smiles. I enjoy that so fucking much, and I'm glad I did that. I'm gonna have to try to finish up this campaign today, because I'm curious to see if they are gonna take the route of what are they thinking, Cold War, where there are quote unquote multiple endings. So I do want to test out that at least. But right now where I'm at in the game, I'm basically trying to hunt down certain people. I'm trying to basically, I guess, get my hands on Saddam, I believe, if I remember what the cutscene said correctly. Well, that's basically where I'm at. I do enjoy the whole stealth spy missions where you kind of have to go like undercover. You can't really go guns blazing at all. I do, in fact, enjoy that a lot. And I guess one thing I didn't really mention, especially in the beginning, was graphically. I actually do like how this game looks. I mean, it looks really nice. I do like the actual like gun designs themselves. So that's the one thing they did do was actually is do really good with the weapons, do really good with the graphics, pro- give the weapons proper recoil. Like they definitely did a pretty good job with this actually, and I do enjoy how the guns and everything feel. So I don't think I've ever really mentioned that in the multiplayer part. But yeah, the guns, like especially in the campaign, the guns have felt really nice to use, and I do like how the game looks. It does look really nice. That's one thing I will say. Another thing I will say is I didn't actually spend $70 on this. The only reason I have this is because I just bought PC Game Pass because I can't be bothered to spend $70 on a game, so I'll just spend $13 and get like oh like what was it, over 300 games or something like that, and just have that instead. Now, the one thing I wasn't expecting though when I went to download this game was despite me already having Call of Duty HQ on Steam, I was not expecting them to re-download all of Call of Duty HQ through the Xbox PC Game Pass. So I basically had to wait a couple hours for everything to download just for me to play it. But yeah, but one thing it's almost starting to feel like the main character you're playing as right now is the same it's kind of following like the same stat as I don't remember what the main character was. Basically, it's the main character of Cold War, where you're basically the Russian that basically got brainwashed by Adler. It kind of feels like that's what's going on right here, actually, because again, I'm not really gonna spoil much of anything from what I've seen in my time with the campaign. It definitely sounds like that's how it's going to be. That's for sure. Yeah, there's not much I can really say about the campaign without really spoiling it. And plus, I still have to finish it myself because I definitely got to see, what exactly happens in the end. And I'm hoping that the ending does not disappoint me because then I'll be pretty pissed off because it's kind of just how these Call of Duty campaigns have been for the past few years. I was actually fine with Modern Warfare 2019's campaign Uh, not so much Modern Warfare 2. Definitely not Modern Warfare 3. Definitely not Cold War's campaign. It's just the campaigns kind of haven't really stuck with me for a long time, and so far this one I'm actually interested in, and I'm actually liking it. So I'm just kind of hoping that the campaign does not basically do a cliffhanger, or just have like a very disappointing ending. That's really what I'm hoping for. But I'm not gonna be able to see until it comes my time when I finish the campaign, which I'm going to have to do because I really want to see what happens. I mean, again, it definitely is so far a fun campaign. Definitely has its like action movie moments, like like in the can what was it, the trailer? Yeah, I think it was like the campaign trailer for Black Ops 6, where you're basically on the dirt bikes, just flying out of casino, or not a casino, a presidential ceremony, whatnot, whatever it was. There's just a lot of action movie stunts that just happen. The game is hilarious, but I definitely do recommend trying the campaign, like playing it once, because I so far at least I am satisfied with it, and I'm pretty sure if especially if you're into like single player or you're into campaigns like me, you might you might actually enjoy this. But again, I just kind of wish that we can choose our own weapons. That would be something I actually enjoy. But I do like how a lot of campaign missions do just give you sniper rifles, regardless of whatever that mission is. You could be on a stealth mission. Here's a sniper rifle, by the way. You could be going through like a fucking hotel or some shit. Here's a sniper rifle for you, by the way, with a 12 times scope. So have fun in like a very small hotel with very small corridors. You're going to enjoy it. I I do like that. They'll just give you certain weapons that may or may not even be handy. Like earlier, where early into the mission, where they basically gave you a fucking C9 and then a sniper, but it's like there's only so I only have so many bullets for a sniper, and the C9 has some very terrible fucking range. So what do you expect me to do? Now, one thing I'm going to say is you during the campaign you will be facing a lot of enemies that have basically health bars, which are pretty much like mini bosses or even bosses. I kind of don't know why they do some. Just a lot of the enemies like this, for example, do have a health bar. They don't really have to be like a juggernaut or have any padding at all, but their people will just have health bars at all, and that will happen a lot too, or they will just bum rush you like that. I got more surprised by the fact that I even survived that encounter, despite the fact having like 1% HP in the end. Like, I think like I'm just playing on regular, not really any higher difficulty, but the enemy will fuck you up. They will fuck your day up, and it's definitely fun, but they will fuck your day up in the end. And I'm pretty sure in this clip I actually do end up dying. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure I do. But yeah, I think they are taking how like every other Call of Duty campaign recently where the difficulty is actually harder than what you actually selected. Like, I just chose regular, and there are times where shit just fucks you up. It's like I didn't realize it. I didn't realize I was playing on Vietnam fucking difficulty. Yeah, you'll be tasked to also take out a lot of like bomb drones and whatnots. Where basically there are some enemies that will actually they'll spawn like kind of like they kind of look like drones from Siege, where you basically go and scout the enemy team. Like there are enemies that have basically that, but have attached a C4 on it, so you have to constantly blow it up. Not fun. Not fun because they don't fucking spawn that shit until you actually start getting the combats. So you have to kill off the enemy as fast, or you have to kill that fucking death trap, and then immediately peek into cover and relocate where the enemy is. Like they definitely have that happening for it. I mean, as you can tell, I'm having quite the blast on fucking what am I thinking of? Mile High Club. You can definitely tell I'm having a blast there. But I mean, so far I've I have been kind of enjoying Black Ops 6 more than I have in the beta because I absolutely hated that beta. It's still, not like the perfect game, but they somehow did pull it back though. That's for sure. They did have like a comeback after the beta, and I am kind of glad it happened. But now the question stands is, how do I feel about the game though? Uh, I do like it. Uh, I, I am having fun with it. Again, like I kept saying throughout this whole recording, it's not a bad game, but it's also not like the best game. It's kind of that in between. I would say if I were to give this game any sort of reason, like not reason, any sort of rating, it would have to be at least like I want to say maybe a 6 or 7 out of 10 as it's where it's at right now. Though depending on what they do with the seasons, it might it might change, but only time's gonna tell. But yeah, I do like 6 or 7 out of 10 rating. The multiplayer is fine, much better than the beta. I don't I can't really give a rating for zombies because I just don't care or play zombies at all. So ultimately, really my that's not really for me to decide that part. But the campaign I do enjoy a lot. It definitely is fun, and it's a different take of the Black Ops series, where even Cold War was more on the line of very more like way more action, but this one necessarily is not that. It's more like with this in a campaign, spy shit, and that's primarily what this campaign has been. But yeah, I do. Ugh. Yeah, I definitely do enjoy the game more, probably more than I anticipated or wanted. But I am fine with the game, especially after my Black Ops 6 beta video. people have just been doing nothing, and I mean nothing of fucking shit talking, all because one person does not share their same opinion. I never responded to that. I kind of just ignored it. But I guess because I still got time, I'll just say for the people that basically resort to shit talking somebody all because they don't like the game you like, the only thing I can say is you definitely need to fucking grow up. I don't really care if it's the internet. If you're just resorting to basically try to make the person feel like shits because they don't like a game or have the same opinion as you seriously need to grow some balls and fucking grow up. You're not some keyboard warrior. You're just a piece of shit because you like a game that no one else likes. That's pretty much all I'm gonna say for that. Because again, I've just been ignoring it. It's been of zero care for me. Hasn't affected me at all. Don't really care. People can keep disliking if they want. It's the internet after all. But that's pretty much my review for Black Ops 6. It's gotta be 6 or 7 out of 10. Again, it could change depending on ultimately depending on what am I thinking of? Yeah, depending on what they do with all the after kind of like the post launch stuff. So like all the seasons and whatnot, seeing what they're gonna go through. Now I am kind of interested in what kind of like maps they're gonna bring, or even weapons they're gonna start bringing back in the new seasons. And I'm hoping that the newer maps are going to be fun. But that's basically how I do feel about Black Ops 6 so far. Definitely, if you guys, definitely do share how you guys feel about the game. Do you guys like it? Do you hate it? Definitely let me know in the comments below. And what you like, what do you think about the game? If you like what you see, then I guess don't if you like what you see, consider liking or subscribing. And I will see you guys on my next video. Peace.